Alright. Hi, I'm Sailor Moon. And I am Sailor Earth. Ernest here. Well, you know, because it's written on my shirt. And today we're going to just do, I guess, a break two of did we knock off the Power Rangers or did the Power Rangers knock us off? Now, I don't really think anyone actually believes that. First, going into this, I think that a lot of folks looked at both shows, saw that there were some stuff that was the same, but in their mind they didn't go, oh, well, someone was fostering from someone. Someone was borrowing from someone. Now, the yesteryear of Power Rangers or Strength Keepers or Sailor Moon, it can trace itself back to Super Sentai or Over Team, as one show was fostered from it and took stuff from it, and the other show was came from it but didn't take really anything from it. Now there are small things that make the show be the same, at least when you look at them. First off, having fiends of the week or a foe of the week, something that both my show and the Power Rangers both do. Now, this is where it kind of gets unlike. You see, once we beat the foe doesn't grow again, making us have to go and get some big tool to fight the foe in the last fight. A lot of folks ask themselves, why is it that it happens in the Power Rangers or the Strength Keepers? And the only guess I can come up with is that the foe they're fighting believes that this will put them at a downside, that they won't have any way to fight the fiend if they make their fiend big. And that is the belief. We never had to fight anyone who got big. Well, there was Emerald once she was shifted into a Lindworm by Wise Man. But beyond that, there wasn't any other foes that got big and we had to fight them. All the foes, you killed them, that's it, they're done. They didn't come back and get big. So that was one way that the show was unlike our show. But then again, there were a whole bunch of other things about the shows that a lot of folks would say, did one show borrow from the other? Now, I believe that this is the truth here, maybe. Maybe it's not, I don't know. It could be the truth that Naoko Takeuchi was a follower of Over Team. Han Siobhan saw the Over Team when he was overdoing business in Japan, and then brought it up later, and then came up with the thought we need to bring this show over to the rights. Now, keep in mind, since Naoko Takeuchi was a follower of Over Show, a lot of things that happened in the Over Show would happen in Sailor Moon. This might have been the grounds for why Tuxedo Mask had gotten brainwashed, the same way that the Green Ranger, both the Green Keeper, both in the Over Team and the Strength Keepers, would get brainwashed too. The only unlikeness is that Tommy would go on to be one of the long-time Southwoods, and Bo, or whatever his name was, in Over Team would die after the fighting. But it didn't stop there. You see, Tuxedo Mask, Darien, helped me out for all the 5 followings of Sailor Moon. Well, until he was taken by Galaxia and slain. But that's not what we're talking about. The same way that Tommy, when he was the Green Ranger, the Green Keeper, and when he became the White Keeper, he would do this many times for Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, and even Catherine when she took over for Kimberly. So right there were 2 more things that made the show be the same. Now, I know that, yeah, Sailor Moon, but then they're going to say there are some things that made our show not be the same. Well, each following of the Strength Keepers would have a new foe and a new team to fight them. We would get at least new foes for all the 5 followings we had, but we wouldn't get new followers to join unless you count the Alders that showed up in following 3 and the Sailor Starlight that showed up on following 5. But pretty much it was just the same, it was us. There wasn't really any new teams, even though we did have new foes. The Power Rangers would get a new team and a new foe to fight for all the followings that they would be through. And this would be the way that Toei would handle over team, the way that Disney, Siobhan, and Hasbro would handle the Strength Keepers. But did one show really knock off the other show? And at the end of the day, I want to say no, since it would be hard for one show to do it. Yes, Over Team, or whatever you want to call it, started out in 1975 YL, and Strength Keepers, whatever you want to call it, started out in 1993 YL, and we started out in 1992 YL, 1 year before the Strength Keepers would even be thought of, would even show. So in a way, if one show was taking from us, it most likely would have been them taking from us. But then again, it would be us taking from Over Team. So it's hard to say. But at the end of the day, I don't really think that one show knocked off the other show. Yeah, there may have been a lot of borrowing back and forth. I guess there was. But then again, there were many shows out there that had a lot of things that were the same, but some things to make it not the same. So I don't really think we did. Well, you're right about that, Sailor Earth. At the end of the day, I don't really think we did do that. I don't really think we did knock off the Power Rangers or the Strength Keepers. And I really don't think the Strength Keepers or the Power Rangers knocked us off. Since, if you want to be right, one show came from the other show, and one show fostered stuff from the other show. So in a way, Over Team may have been the one that folks might say that we were both knocking off that. But at the end of the day, your guess is as good as mine where NAOKO Takeuchi and Han Siobhan got their thoughts from, or how Power Rangers and Sailor Moon, and how they had a lot of things that were the same, but a lot of things that were not. But to this day, we'll never truly know if one show was knocking off the other show, or one show was borrowing from the other. See, before I end this film, alright, yeah, I guess I end it now. Alright, that's it. I think at the end of the day, as Sailor Moon says, we were first. We didn't do anything that any other show was doing at the time. So I think a lot of things that was going on, the Strength Keepers, Power Rangers for you folks out there, and a lot of things that were going on in Over Team, Super Sentai for you folks out there, and even here Sailor Moon, I think a lot of it was just a lot of things that were the same. It wasn't one side borrowing from the other side, and if it was, then it was fostered and shifted so it wouldn't be coming off as it was actually, wouldn't come off as if it was knocking off the other show. I'm Sailor Moon, I'm Sailor Earth, hope you like this film.